This motor runs on a 12-volt system, so it's efficient but still packs serious punch. With 65 pounds of thrust, you've got more than enough power to handle wind, current and manoeuvring around structure. It features a 5 forward and 3 reverse speed control, giving you solid flexibility whether you're creeping up on fish or repositioning quickly. The Venom SXW is built tough for saltwater conditions, with a corrosion-resistant finish and marine-grade stainless steel hardware. You've got a heavy-duty transom mount, which is super easy to install and adjust, plus a telescopic tiller handle for comfortable control from different positions. The weedless 3-blade prop is another big plus. It helps cut through weed and keeps you moving without constantly getting tangled up. One of the best things about this motor is how simple and reliable it is. No complicated electronics, just solid, dependable performance. It's ideal for estuary fishing, rivers and inshore work, especially if you want quiet movement without spooking fish. So if you're after a durable, affordable and powerful electric motor, the Watersnake Venom SXW 65/42 is definitely worth a look. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe and I'll see you out on the water.
Hi viewers, and thanks for tuning in. I'd like to give Honey a big thank you for that nice introduction about giving us all that information about this motor. It is a nice little motor. I've enjoyed it for more than 3 years now. I've actually added a Watersnake circuit breaker on it and just push that and reactivates the motor, but I haven't even used it yet. It hasn't even activated for me. I think I have tested it, so it does work. The Anderson plug on the end, I added that myself as well. So the Anderson plug just fits neatly into my battery box. I run it with a 100 amp hour 12-volt battery. I usually get probably 3 hours at full speed. If I'm running full and half, maybe 4, at least 4 usually. And if I'm running half throttle, I'd probably get 6 hours out of the main battery. My secondary battery, 1 full hour, full speed, get me home. It can also do at least 2 with half throttle, and I'm talking speed number 3. This has 5 speeds in forward, and it works opposite as a fuel motor, a petrol motor. If you turn it away from you with your left hand, it does speed number 1 through to 5. If it's on 0 and you turn it towards you, you get reverse gears, reverse speed, so 1, 2, and 3 in reverse. It does have an extendable tiller, also handy. And it has this LCD display on top, well, light emulating display, and there's 3 digits on it, and a decimal, so it gives you like a voltage reading there. But I've burnt this out twice. Once when I first got it, after running the lithium for probably 3 days, it burnt it out, or maybe longer, and then I replaced it, bought a new one from down in Melbourne, and replaced that, also burnt it out. Second one gone. I have a feeling it's from the lithium battery. The new Watersnake Prime motors, they actually have, they do say that they're lithium battery compatible, so I'm thinking that there's some issue with running lithium with these. So AGM, I'm sure the LED would last for a long time, but with lithium, I can tell you from experience, it hasn't lasted. You can see there's a bit of wear and tear there, but that's mainly just a little bit of oil. What else I've done to help waterproof this is I've just added grease along the seal here just to repel some water. And there's really nothing you can do about in the front there, but that does protect it from splashing a little bit. But I haven't had any troubles from water ingress in the top of the motor where all the controls are, so it's been pretty good, really reliable. There was one issue with the speed controller. I think I lost number 1 and 2 for a while in forward speed. I opened the motor up, went a bit further, dug a bit deeper, and there's like a funny shaped controller on it that there's some contacts, and I just cleaned the dirty black grease like that off, and I just put some fresh grease on it, and I haven't had an issue since. So that's just a little bit of maintenance. Also, with maintenance, I do like to wash it down with fresh water. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting water from the esky or cooler, and just any fresh water that I've got left over, and I'll tip it over the motor and over the transom bracket. What else I do like about this motor is the quick release for transom angle. So I can tilt the motor right up out of the water, almost 90 degrees. It's a quick push the button, pop it back up again. So there's a button release underneath this lever here, and you can push it from either side. It's very positive, very strong. In fact, I did have to oil it or give it a little bit of grease once in 3 years, so that's not a big problem. This is essentially your motor height. So the motor is going to want to drop down with the heavy motor on the bottom. It's going to want to go into down position off your bracket. So having that adjusted to the height that you want the motor to go down will be the depth of your propeller, essentially. The other thing we have here is another kind of a height adjustment. That's your height adjustment for the bracket, and what happens sometimes is I find that this sleeve comes out, so sometimes it'll pop right out, and that can be a real problem. So I will keep that in that position to the height that I like. So say you wanted to have your transom shallower, you would tighten it up there a little bit, stop it from sliding up and down, but this is ultimately your lock. I would put it down in that position to make it shallower drive. Loosen this off a little bit, push the sleeve back in. Painful, water snake. Do something else with that. So a little bit unhappy with the transom height adjustment, but I never need to adjust my transom height, so it doesn't really worry me. Also, with that adjustment knob, you can crank it up so that the steering isn't too loose and flopping around, and that works very well. So the little sleeve thing does work quite well, but when it comes undone, it's quite painful. The propeller is very thin, very sharp, quite light, and it's quite fine. So it actually does the job. I have put a couple little marks and chips by chewing through some sand, but I quickly sandpapered it back without any real issues. So I seem to be getting equal power to what I had before, as long as they're smooth and you don't have big chunks in them. To take the prop off, it's really quite easy. You can wind this here, pull the prop, maybe give it a washout, and you can see that there's a notch in there, a bit of a slot for that cotter pin there. That pin, I do have spares for that. I suggest you keep spares for that in case you need to remove your prop while you're going along. There's an anode behind it, and this thing has been great at sealing. I haven't had any issues with this motor whatsoever. So salt water, not a problem. And look in there, there's really no corrosion or anything like that. It's fantastic. So no issues there. This has been a great, reliable motor. I'll just put my prop nut on. There is metal inside that plastic knob, and there's actually a prop tool. The prop tool is simply that, a prop tool that will lock the prop on. The little grooves go in there around the prop nut, hold the propeller, give it a good tighten. That'll be much easier to take the propeller off too if it's quite tight. That's not going anywhere. So all in all, this has been a very reliable motor. I've been really happy with its performance. Look, there's a piece of that plastic sleeve. Come on, Watersnake. I hope they've improved that on the prime brushless motor. It looks as though they have, but I don't have one yet. And for the reason of basically not having a safety lanyard, I won't be getting a prime. And that's my prime reason for that. The Watersnake doesn't have a kill switch, like a lanyard and a kill switch, so I just have to hope that I don't go in, or if I do, that I can turn the motor off on time. So overall, I've had a really good experience with this motor. I'm very happy with it. just gets me to my spot. It gets me against the current, gets me against the wind. But when I see a school of fish that I want to get to in a hurry, it doesn't get me there quick enough. So I'll say that's not really sufficient, but it's only 12 volt. It can only run 50 amps. And it's only going to do 600 watts, so that's 0.8 of a horsepower. So that's what you get. Full speed. Yep, that's it. This is a trolling motor. It does what it was designed to do very, very well. So I'm not knocking it in any way whatsoever. As I said before, quiet. Just beautiful, which is why I'm not going back to a petrol gasoline motor. This is going to be my thing now, electric, wherever I can. Of course, I've done thousands of hours of boating and power boating and sailing and so on, but this is my go-to now, electric. It's just wonderful. It's smooth, it's quiet, there's no stinky fumes. I hate fumes. There's no petrol fumes, gas fumes, there's no smoke, there's no oil changes, there's very little maintenance. I don't have to maintain my motor on the weekends. I can go fishing on the weekends. The environmental impact is also great. It's electric, no smoke, no oil, no fumes. It's good for the environment. And I just love it. Love it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your fishing.